Gasper, Orlovsky says they've drafted Ben Roethlisberger if they don't play him in year one. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I do think that there is an element here with Drake Maye of needing to mature, and the situation obviously is not ideal in New England. I would compare him more to, I think he's a better athlete than Ben Roethlisberger. I think he's somewhere between Josh Allen and Justin Herbert in terms of his athleticism. But when you look at NFL readiness and what the Patriots have around him, yes, I think ideally he does sit most of the year. I don't know if he has to sit the entire year, but ideally he is sitting for 9 or 10 games, and he's able to work out some of these issues he has in terms of footwork and be able to mitigate some of the bad habits I think he picked up last year at UNC playing in that system and with that supporting cast. And you could really have something down the line. You guys know I'm a Drake Maye guy. This is the guy I wanted them to take. So I fully support this pick because I think the upside is what you need it to be if you're going to move the needle and get back to contention.
What do you like the best about it? What's your favorite thing about the player or the pick?
My favorite thing about the player is the array of the throws he can make. And I know it's not consistent yet, but I do think this is where I like the Josh Allen comparison, even though I think Josh Allen is more talented physically. But you saw in the beginning with Josh Allen, it's like, okay, he's inconsistent. He's trying to make some of these hero throws. The decision-making is not always as circumspect as it should be. But, oh, my God, he just put that ball in the spot where, like, 2 guys in the league can do it. And that's what you see with Drake Maye in terms of his ability. Some of the throws on tape that he makes where he puts the ball right on the money in a spot, and you're like, there's a lot of quarterbacks in the league that can't do that now. And if you're going to be able to elevate an offense and elevate the talent around you, which was something that Elliott Wolf and Gerard Mayo spoke about in terms of what he was asked to do at North Carolina, I'll take this check down. I'll take what they're giving me and lull them to sleep, and then I'm just going to make this great play that they are in the perfect defense for, but it doesn't matter because I'm just better.
What are your concerns?
My concerns would be that if you look at some of that stuff, maybe it is a little too ingrained that they can't do what's happened with Jordan Love and Josh Allen in terms of getting him to be more consistent with his accuracy, more consistent with his decision-making.
The 6 quarterbacks in the top 12, like the whole landscape. You have a thought on that?
Yeah, I do. I mean, certainly the Michael Penix Jr. pick is really interesting, not just from an NFL standpoint, but from a Patriots standpoint, right? He's the next quarterback that goes, and I know that's the guy you wanted, Mike. He's the next quarterback that goes after Drake Maye. So there's sort of a natural juxtaposition comparison there, and really the guys couldn't be any more different in terms of what they're doing coming into the NFL and where they're at. And I think that that's going to be one that's interesting for the Patriots. It's not exactly ideal that Penix went so close to Maye if it ends up not working out for Maye. I think at the end of the day, the Patriots, and this is what I like about the Patriots, they explored everything, right? They came into it with certain preconceived notions like the rest of the league, but they didn't just say, these are our notions, we're not going to change. They explored everything from Penix to J.J. McCarthy and trades. And then at the end of the day, they landed right back where they'd started, which there are 3 guys in this draft, 3 quarterbacks in this draft that we think are on a different tier than the other guys. And we're going to stick to that. We feel like we went with that going in, but not only did we just stick to it, we proved it to ourselves throughout the process, and we're going to go with that, and that's why we're going to draft Drake Maye on the upside. Hey, we'll see if they're right. This is a challenging thing. You know, I heard from fans last night, people complaining about the Maye pick, and trust me, I get it. But I think when you look at the things people complain about Drake Maye, well, he's not as accurate as I'd like. The decision-making's inconsistent. He's not as polished. He's not as NFL ready. If you flip all those things around, those were all the strengths of Mac Jones, all the reasons you drafted Mac Jones, all the reasons people thought Mac Jones would succeed.
Like, again, these guys all went high.
Yeah.
If you dropped to 11, the only guy you would have had a crack at is Knicks. Really?
Yeah, no, right?
Yeah.
Like they all went high. You know, once Penix went 8, it was like, well, there goes that. Like the idea of trading back to Penix and getting him at 11, no shot.
And that's why I was saying to you guys that, you know, I do think there was an element there at one point of like, hey, you know, can we elevator this board? Can we drop down and then come back up? But if you did that and missed out on the guys you wanted, you were going to look really foolish. And I think it just in the end, it wasn't worth it. So to Mazz's point, that would have been really difficult to pull off. And I think it was just too risky to try and do that at the end of the day and then end up missing out on a quarterback that you think that you like. And then you're just kind of stuck, as he pointed out, with Bo Nix. So I think they made the right decision there in sticking and picking at 3. And that's kind of, I think, where they were, I don't want to say for a while, but at least for, the last week or 10 days, I think they were really leaning towards stick and pick unless someone's going to get stupid or crazy and come in here. And when I say stupid and crazy, part of that is like, well, do the Chargers want to give us Justin Herbert? Do the Vikings want to give us Justin Jefferson? Do the Raiders want to give us Devontae Adams? I don't think they were ever going to just take a bunch of picks and move off at 3. It was going to have to be something that you wouldn't normally be able to get at that pick. We talked last week about this, right? DJ Moore getting thrown into that deal for Chicago when they made the deal last year for Carolina to get Bryce. It was going to have to be some sort of proven NFL element in a deal.
Yeah, the only possibility, Mike, in retrospect, was the Giants, right? Because they took a receiver.
Right.
So if they had come up because they wanted Maye specifically, yeah, we'll take him. But once you get past Maye, we don't want any of the quarterbacks. That would have been it. I think after that, there was no chance of trading down.
Finally, role of ownership. Chris, what do you think it was?
I think role of ownership was maybe putting a thumb on the scale for a quarterback. Beyond that, I mean, honestly, I don't really know. Do I think that it was Jonathan Kraft out there thumbing through scouting reports, there with the clicker like Bill Belichick running, saying, Foxy, run that back. I need to see Drake Maye's footwork. No, I don't think it was that. Were they more involved than they've been probably in the last 20 years because it's different without Bill? Yeah, I think they were. I think they're probably able to express themselves and express an opinion. But do I think that at the end of the day, this was a Jonathan Kraft production? I don't. I think that they let these guys do what they wanted to do, but also express to them the idea of, hey, quarterback's really important. We, wouldn't mind seeing a quarterback here.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.